Congratulations, you're alive? Sort of. You're not even out in the open yet. You're trapped inside an egg, which is weird enough for a mammal, but evolution apparently had a meltdown when it designed you. 10 days crammed in a damp burrow, sealed up in a shell, surrounded by mud, fungi, and the faint smell of something rotting nearby. Your mom, a strange mix between a beaver, a duck, and maybe an accident in a lab, checks in every so often. Not to cuddle or coo, but to make sure you haven't been swallowed whole by a snake or smothered under her clumsy body. When you finally break free, it doesn't feel like a victory. The world greets you with darkness, damp air, and the crushing realization that you are basically useless. Blind, bald, and floppy, you don't even resemble a proper animal. More like a melted jelly bean with limbs tacked on. Your siblings are no better, squirming blobs in the mud, each just as clueless as you. There's no comfort here, no bonding. You all lie in the muck, waiting, breathing, surviving. You're hungry. But forget any cozy image of nursing. Your mom skipped the nipple memo entirely. Instead, milk seeps out of her skin, pooling across her fur in little damp puddles. You lap at it like a desperate sponge, slimy mouth pressed against damp hair. That's your nourishment, second-hand milk puddles. Every day the same, darkness, mud, damp air, sucking down skin milk, trying not to die. Time passes in the slow, cruel way it does when nothing ever changes. Weeks blur together. You start to grow fur, but it's not a triumph, it's just biology reluctantly catching up. Everyone else in the animal kingdom had this from day one, but for you it's a sluggish upgrade. At least now you look a little less like something scraped off the floor. Still, danger presses in. The burrow is never safe. Snakes smell you, claws scrape at the dirt above, and even your own mother's weight could crush you flat without warning. Your siblings? They're not friends. They're just competitors, fighting for the same tiny drops of milk, squirming on top of you, suffocating you in the darkness. The silence is filled with your own weak wheezes and the occasional squelch of mud. Then comes the day your mother decides she's done with you. There's no gentle preparation, no goodbye. She shoves you forward, out of the burrow, into a light so blinding it stings your still weak eyes. You tumble clumsily toward the water's edge, gravity dragging you into a world you never asked for. And then, splash. Cold river swallows you whole. You panic immediately. Instinct says swim, but your body says sink. Webbed feet slap uselessly at the current, water floods your mouth, your limbs thrash without rhythm. The surface pulls away, the riverbed rises up, and you taste mud and grit. For a moment, it feels like this is it, the end before you've even begun. You bob back up, coughing, only to be dragged again by the current. Your mother? She's already swimming ahead, barely glancing back. No encouragement, no lessons. Just abandonment dressed as tough love. You flail harder, your strokes awkward, pathetic. Every movement is clumsy, but eventually something clicks. A rhythm, weak but workable. You're swimming, sort of. Not graceful, not strong, but alive. Alive, but not safe. Predators haunt the water. Shadows move beneath you, fish with teeth sharp enough to snap your flimsy body in half. Birds circle overhead, their eyes locked on you, waiting for a slip, a mistake, a pause in your pathetic paddling. The water itself is a threat, currents pulling, dragging you into deeper channels where your tiny lungs could never keep up. There's no peace outside the burrow, only a wider arena of survival. Every day is a gamble. You learn to dig at the riverbank, to hide under roots, to vanish into the mud. But even then, venomous barbs on your hind legs remind you of the strange, cursed biology you carry. Tools for fighting, but against enemies so much bigger, so much hungrier, they feel more like a cruel joke. Your siblings vanish one by one. Some taken by snakes, some by hawks, some simply too weak to keep up with the current. You don't mourn them, you don't have the luxury. Their absence is just silence, a little more space in the world, a little less competition for the scraps of survival. And still you swim. Awkward, trembling, half-evolved, fighting currents and predators alike. Evolution may not have decided what you're supposed to be, a mammal, a bird or reptile. But it did decide one thing: you're on your own. Your survival is not guaranteed. Your life is not gentle. And every time you close your tired eyes, there's no comfort. Just the cold whisper of water around you, and the hungry silence of a world that would rather see you fail. This is what it means to be born as a platypus. A blind stumble into a hostile world, a fight to grow, to swim, to breathe. You're not special. You're not destined. You're simply alive, for now.